Readings, first readings from the second letter of John. I rejoiced greatly to find some of your children walking in the truth, just as they were commanded by the Father. But now, lady, I ask you, not as though I were writing a new commandment, but the one we have had from the beginning. Let us love one another. For this is love, that we walk according to his commandments. This is the commandment, as you heard from the beginning, in which you should walk. Many deceivers have gone out into the world, those who do not acknowledge Jesus Christ as coming in the flesh, such as the deceitful one and the Antichrist. Look to yourselves that you do not lose what we worked for, but may receive a full recompense. Anyone who is so progressive as not to remain in the teaching of the Christ does not have God. Whoever remains in the teaching has the Father and the Son. Word, Lord.
Thanks be to God.
The responsorial psalm. Blessed are they who follow the law of the Lord.
Blessed
Blessed
are
are they who follow the law of the Lord.
Blessed are they whose way is blameless, who walk in the law of the Lord.
Blessed
Blessed
are
are they who follow the law of the Lord.
Blessed are they who observe his decrees, who seek him with all their heart.
Blessed are they who follow the law of the Lord.
With all my heart I seek you. Let me not stray from your commands.
Blessed are they who follow the law of the Lord.
Within my heart I treasure your promise, that I may not sin against you.
Blessed are they who follow the law of the Lord.
Be good to your servant, that I may live and keep your words.
Blessed are they who follow the law of the Lord.
Open my eyes, that I may consider the wonders of your law.
Blessed are they who follow the law of the Lord.
Alleluia, alleluia.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Stand erect and raise your heads, because your redemption is at hand.
Hallelujah.
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 Reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke.
Glory to
Glory
you.
to you,
Glory
Lord.
to you, O Lord.
Jesus said to his disciples, "As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be in the days of the Son of Man. They were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage up to the day that Noah entered the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. Similarly, as it was in the days of Lot, they were eating, drinking, buying, selling, planting, building. On the day when Lot left Sodom, fire and brimstone rained from the sky to destroy them all. So it will be on the day the Son of Man is revealed. On that day, someone who is on the housetop and whose belongings are in the house must not go down to get them. And likewise, one in the field must not return to what was left behind. Remember the wife of Lot. Whoever seeks to preserve his life will lose it, but whoever loses it will save it. I tell you, on that night there will be two people in one bed. One will be taken, the other left. And there will be two women grinding meal together. One will be taken, the other left. They said to him in reply, "Where, Lord?" He said to them, "Where the body is, there also the vultures will gather." The gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Steelers, 8-0. You know, it kind of brings a lot of football to mind. And I'm reminded today, I'm going to date myself here a little bit, of one of my favorite players who was kind of lesser known in my childhood back in the 70s. Played for the Colts and he played for the Dolphins. He was known as the human bowling ball. His name was Don Nottingham. Don they claim he was 5'9". That's probably a stretch. He was probably more like 5'7", and he weighed about 230 pounds. He was a running back. And man, when he hit the line, the linemen felt like pins on a bowling alley. He was short, but dense. Kind of like our first reading today from the second letter of John. It's the shortest book in the Bible. It's only 5 paragraphs long, the whole book of the Bible. But man, is it dense. And in our reading today, only 1 paragraph, we managed to get in 2 of the most complicated, difficult issues in all of our faith. Issues that fall into the categories of eschatology and Christology. So you're going to get a little lesson today in vocabulary in the church. Eschatology is the study of end time stuff. Death, judgment, last days, heaven, hell, purgatory. It's a pretty popular topic, frankly, on the internet. You can see all kinds of people prophesying when the last days are going to come, whether we're in them now, whether it's going to be soon, whether it's going to be not so soon. But in our first reading today, John takes a pretty simple approach to eschatology. He doesn't address all those last days stuff. He just says, you want to be saved? Follow the law of love. Love God, love each other. Pretty short, but dense. Ironically, it's the same exact message that we get in our psalm response today from Psalm 119. Ironically, because John, second letter of John, is the shortest book in the Bible. Psalm 119 is the longest psalm in the Bible. Doesn't matter how long it takes to relate it, the message is the same. John also gets into the field in this letter of Christology, which is the study of the person, the nature, and the role of Christ. And there's 2 main branches of Christology, high and low Christology. High and low Christology focus on whether Christ was primarily divine or primarily human. They both have to be equal, according to Catholic teaching. And that's why it's one of the most controversial subjects that there has been in the church since the very first times. In the early years of the church, it gave rise to all the major heresies. Fall into 3 categories. Those that said Christ was only a man, not God, like Arianism. Those that said Christ only had 1 nature, not 2, and either his human nature absorbed his divine or vice versa, like monotheism. And those that say Christ was only God, not man. He just appeared as a man, like Arianism or Gnosticism. And we see it's already happening at the end of the first century when John was writing his second letter around the year 95 AD. Because he says in this letter, beware of the deceivers, the heretics, who deny Christ in the flesh. Those are the Gnostics, and they were already around at that time. They denied his humanity. Jesus says, don't get in the sandbox with these people. Don't play with them. They're dangerous. If you don't follow solid doctrine, if you're not careful, you don't follow the law of the Lord, you don't have God, and you won't be saved. You won't have a chance on that last day to talk about heaven, to talk about hell, to purgatory, at the judgment. You're just going to be one of those who's left behind, not taken up, left for destruction. And when? When is that judgment going to happen? That's what we all want to know, right? That's what Jesus' disciples are asking him in the gospel today. And he says, gee, guys, it will come. You want to know when it'll come? It'll come like Noah's flood. It'll come like the fire and brimstone that fell on Sodom. It'll come like a raptor who falls upon its prey with its talons. Unexpectedly, that's when it's going to come. But those, like John says in the letter from our first reading, who follow the truth, the law of the Lord, like our responsorial psalm, they will be taken up. Those who don't, they're going to be left behind for the destruction, the flood, the fire and brimstone, the end of time, the destruction of this world. We can't know when. So when our number is called, either at our death or at our last day, the last day of the world, we can't know, we should take a lesson from the human bowling ball, from Don Nottingham. Don was drafted in 1971 in the 17th round. It doesn't even exist anymore. They don't go that far down. He was literally the second to the last person drafted that year. First couple of years, he played very sparingly. But in 1974, he was one of the league leaders in touchdowns with the Super Bowl winning Miami Dolphins. So when your number's called, always be prepared.
You're amazing, Jeff. You're amazing.
Awesome.
Very good.
Love hearing that.
I remember the bowling ball. I remember.
Yeah, date me in there too.
By the way, Jeff.